Carl, two very different horses. Tell me about them a little bit.
Yeah, Dances with Wolves, I'm often heard to be relieved, or seen to be relieved, that I get to the end of a test with him. He's quite difficult in his temperament, and so he can be amazing. He is an amazing horse, but he gets very nervous and wound up in situations, and noise particularly is something that makes him nervous. So, and he hasn't competed for a while now. I took him to Hickstead and he was a little bit difficult there as well, but with the campaign this year I haven't had a great deal of time really to get him out as often as I'd like to. But he did a good job. He does some amazing things, and he did feel lovely. And I mean, he did have these odd, I had a mistake in my 110Ps, which of course, with a coefficient of 2 on that was expensive, and then a little wobble in one of the PFs as well, where he saw something. So, and he's hot, I have to really, breathe the whole time when I'm riding him and keep talking to him, and obviously very quietly, because we're not supposed to speak in a test, so I whisper as I go along. And fine time, he's a stallion, and he's the reigning national champion from last year, so it was great to bring him here. He quite likes it here. I mean, he wasn't really on the aid today, so again, I had mistakes in my 2 tempies and my 1 tempies, so that was very costly, because he just does them beautifully outside. I'm just like everybody else as well, we all win our medals at home, and outside I know they're particularly perhaps not his strongest point, so I worked on them outside and it was fantastic, and then I went in there and just missed on a couple, so it was costly, but I'm very pleased with them both. And it's difficult, when you've just done a World Games, to come back and we're only 2 weeks later, really 2-3 weeks later, and get motivated and get going again. So I'm quite delighted, considering they haven't exactly had perhaps the biggest build up to this.
So Dances with Wolves, he had his little whoops in the second PF. How do you deal with that? Because it looks like you're doing nothing.
I am doing nothing, and I think that's half the problem. I mean, he does, if he's going to do it, that is where he does it. And funny enough, he did exactly the same thing at Hickstead. And I think because he's so active, he gets very activated in PF, and then suddenly he freezes, because he's a little bit sort of like, what am I doing? And then I just have to do nothing, pat him on the neck, and off he goes again. And it's something that, as a rider and as a trainer, you realise, you've got to give the horse confidence in those situations. There's no point telling him off. It never works with him. So it's just repetition really, and going on to the next one, and he's got to learn to do it at shows. He can win a gold medal. He's probably one of the most talented horses I've got. Well, he is, and it would be great if he would ever just breathe. It's only it's just a little bit of Grand Prix dressage. It's not that difficult, for him. He's very talented in all the movements, so it's just getting his brain right.
And you've decided not to ride him in the freestyle tomorrow. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, well, I obviously, like, looking at the rules, only the top 10 from the Grand Prix can ride in the freestyle tomorrow. Now, I think it's everybody's dream to ride here. If you do dressage, it's probably in everybody's dream to come and ride at the national championships. And I just felt, I have ridden here for many, many years, over 20 years now, and I just thought it would be nice, actually, if I took one of my horses out and allow somebody else a chance. So I've decided, Dances with Wolves has done enough. He got round the test today. I'm happy with how he went. I want to preserve him a bit for the future, and I thought I might as well let someone else come in and have a chance, and I'll just ride fine time tomorrow. And everyone's thinking I probably picked the wrong horse, because obviously Dances is in the lead, but because it's a combined score today and tomorrow, obviously that makes national champion. So I will just have to ride extra better tomorrow. That's my plan. I'll get a good night's sleep and see if I can get fine time up a couple of a percentage for tomorrow. Really.
You're going to try and give Michael a run for his money?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it would be great if I could be national champion again. It means I don't have to keep chasing these titles. If I'm not, and it's Michael, it's always good to have a new person. We know that. It's good for the sport, to be honest, when you get a bit of rivalry at the top there, and it's good to see different names coming in. I'd love to do it, because that would mean then I would hold, the record for the most Grand Prix titles won, because at the moment Jenny, Lauriston Clark and myself are actually equal, but I don't want to finish on equal. I'd like to go ahead, so I'll probably have to come back next year if things don't go well tomorrow, but that's fine.
Thank you very much. We hope you can make history tomorrow.
Thank you.